Horrible Human Beings, a subsidiary of Handsome Dan's Dirtbag Deli, proud to bring you the review of Thomas Burgundy's Lucid Kids Never Die. And the journey on how I met Burgundy, it's long and wide, and actually that deserves its own post for later. But so Thomas Burgundy is a dude, an MC from out of California. Of course, I've never been to California. Um, I discovered the artwork for one of his albums online back when I used to do one piece of art a day for my Instagram page, and the artwork was dope too. But I ended up getting contacting him. He sent me a free picture of the artwork from the first album, which actually is still super dope. But through that, we kept in contact. Through it's been a couple years now. So he was telling me he had a new project, and he even said he had a piece for me on the project. Now you know I'm all about the ball work, and once you're a samurai, you never stop swinging the sword. But I see now with the new project, Lucid Kids Never Die. It was an honor to be invited on it. Now, after I've heard the entire project, and I'm doing this raw, like I didn't sit with it for a week listening to it. He sent it to me before it was out to the masses, and it took me a couple of days even then. But I wanted to be honest with my judgment with it, because for real, like me and my man always said when I discovered Thomas, I put my man onto him, who was a notorious dream crushing juggernaut hater of everything. I'm just saying that to be funny. We call him the hip hop Hitler because that guy will third rank you if it don't hit a certain standard. But what stuck out to me was that Burgundy hit that standard every time with him. And like I said, he's the hip hop Hitler. So listening to the new joint with an open mind, yo, to say I was blown away is I hate when people give generic compliments. Oh, it's great. It's really good. It's amazing. This is crazy. I've never heard anything like this. No, it's a little wilder. My Nigerian Hitler is hitting me while I'm recording this, but because I had to send him one of the tracks. In a nutshell, the first things that I thought of when I heard this, it might seem crazy, but this is just my take on it. Yo, Lucid Kids Never Die is like I want to say this equal parts a ode to the radio back when, if you grew up when you had a radio with the call in to the radio narrative, especially for anybody who did it back on this side. We used to do it with the college radio because they played all the hip hop, or when you're going through it and you're a teenager or older, late night love radio calling in. It's the love affair of the radio, but not just the radio, the calling in and your request are really like slivers of who you are, pieces of your soul, if you will, or your identity. Uh, so the radio motif, it just hit me, and maybe it's just me, but it was like sitting up 16 or 17 all night with the radio, whether it was for the love channel or the hip hop uncensored channel, whichever. You're sitting up, and each night is a journey. But it's not just a journey through what you listen to, it's a journey into yourself. So that comes the second part of it is it's an ode to the radio, but also to introspection. Um, and you know, I got a weird brain and a weird creative side, but what I'm taking from it, like you can't just sit and listen to it topically. I'm gonna have to go back and sit down because I wanted to take the time to say, yo, one thing about Burgundy, I don't care who you are, you can be from Lithuania, y'all care about bar work. And beyond the fact that this has the bar work I'm looking for, it has something else. Um, I don't know if anybody knows that D'Angelo released a third album that's not really talked about because it wasn't heavily promoted, but it's 1,000% a classic. What Burgundy's done here reminds me of that. It reminds me of what Prince was able to do on every album. Is that he sets the mood and the environment and the aura, and it's not schizophrenic. It don't change from track to track, but the project has one mood. The first thing that I thought of, if you got to compare something to something, well, what's it like? Is it like this? Is it like that? Yo, I remember the Roots first album, Do You Want More? And by saying I remember that, I remember where I was and where I was, realistically, but also in that journey in my life when it came out, when it was introduced to me. So how the tracks and the mood and everything that Black Thought then was Malik B at that time too was throwing at me, was hitting me because of where I was. Also, I remember Only Built for Cuban Links. And that's crazy because you say, well, what do the Roots album and Only Built for Cuban Links got? That's what makes Burgundy special because to me, I took it from this is Do You Want More mixed with Only Built for Cuban Links with the tight narrative as well as each track being its own journey, being its own. A lot of the tracks is over 5 and 6 minutes, but each track being its own therapist chair for the MC, which is dope as the artist who creates to be able to do that. But it's even doper when you as the audience get to partake, where not only do you get to be the therapist, but you also get to be the patient because a really good artist, his human experience should at least mimic pieces of our own. And that's what this brother has done here that's dope. So the category that I put it in was the Roots first joint, Do You Want More, mixed with Only Built for Cuban Links, Ray and Ghost. Finally, add in a touch of The Exorcist. And I don't mean The Exorcist in the sense of devil worship, head turning around, but I mean Exorcist in that we all got our own demons. We all got our own demons that and maybe we live with them our whole life, or we exercise them. And so what Burgundy put out here with Lucid Kids Never Die, this is just one personal take on it, my personal take. I'm sure somebody else that has something different. It's awesomely that. So if you can add all three of those things up, to me, that's what it means. But as I'm listening, yo, for starters, if you ain't heard nothing from this, go to Pomegranate Seeds. Go straight to that, jump straight to that track. I'm sending you there, and you listen to that. That's something easy to jump into for somebody you never heard him. You don't know what's going on. Who is this guy, Thomas Burgundy? Listen to Pomegranate Seeds off the top for me. I mean, it's a bunch of other stuff on YouTube. His older stuff, I can tell you, I really could give you that Reasonable Doubt freestyle from years ago, but this ain't about that. This is about now. But he has a couple lines that, like, I literally had to write down because, yo, they struck me as being doper than just for an album or a song, but kind of like a life mantra. Yo, the first was, the bus don't come no quicker the more I keep checking on it, and nothing comes overnight except an eviction notice. That floored me as being somebody who has waited to catch buses, and it seemed like the only thing to make a bus come quicker is sparking a cigarette, and then that motherfucker will come in 2 minutes. But I get what he says. The more you sit there looking for nothing, make it come quicker, and nothing comes overnight except an eviction notice. I definitely know about that. There was another line from another. This is actually from Pomegranate Seeds, and I had to like stop the joint and write it down because it was so dope. 11 years old, he's the man of the house, but we don't have a house yet. He just couldn't be a child. God gave me pomegranates, but then it gave me the knife. And I'm jumping in and out of it, but Yo, them two joints right there, and they from two separate songs, floored me. And the whole, it's not that the album isn't rife with all of that, but there's a definitive mood throughout the whole project that Burgundy was able to hit. So, if you already were a Burgundy fan, then you'll just be the ultra fan. And if you didn't know who Thomas Burgundy was, you definitely know who he is and what he's about. And I'll say this, Burgundy. Now I'm talking directly to you. I said it once. I said it before, brother. Your business, your business, business manager or whoever handles everything that's not being Thomas Burgundy, the artist, brother. When you hit that chamber, because for starters, this album needs a whole band. You need to pay whatever it takes to get an entire band. And if you can't get on festivals, then you hold the motherfuckers yourselves with your band, and you perform this album in its entirety. This is one of the rare joints where you don't take the one song here, one song there. Yo, you can perform this in its entirety. You can build a festival for yourself around just this album, much less any other things that you have coming. That's what this is powerful in the sense that it's bigger than hip hop. It's when you start hitting that mood, now you start filling stadiums and arenas, and man, it's just the sad thing is this is just one song away from the right person hearing it and co-opting it and realizing that they can't do what you can do. You do it so easy, but they may be further along than you. So why not let me go ahead and scoop them up and let me co-opt this into my thing? Because like you say, there's so many one-liner quotables on there, but you do it for the love, and it comes through, and it's altruistic. So the genius is raw. The genius is raw. You don't got to sit there and try. And it's not millions of dollars behind you, and it's not manufactured off a product line. This right here is awesome, and like I said, this one I feel good because I feel like I got down with this brother way before the rest of the world would. And it's prophetic because the rest of the world is. TDE, hey, listen, Punch, come on, man, come on. It shouldn't take somebody from Baltimore to tell you what's going on in Cali. I don't want to say we're looking for the next thing, but this is the next thing. Whether it's Cali, Illinois, or North Memphis, it don't make a difference. Music is immortal. And before I get out of here, the other thing is, the album cover, man, the album, even if I was deaf and my ears don't work, I need another big blown up picture of the album cover because it shows Burgundy in the middle of the sea with his hands on like jail bars, like someone cut a cube of the jail bar. Anybody who's seen the old school, when you go to jail, the old school bars, you see them in the movies and all that. They cut the square around. It's like Burgundy's holding on to it. So it's like he's behind the bars, but the bars aren't attached to anything. And he's in the water. Possibly he's sinking, maybe he's floating, but he's definitely locked behind these bars that potentially he's not even locked behind because they're not rooted in anything. And that symbolism there is shit, that's worth getting a tattoo over. But yeah, Burgundy. So when and if you get this, I need the big picture of that. That's dope. You need to use that picture to really promote this, project because it's levels of artistry and levels of genius and levels of dopeness, brother. This is it. If I had to take you back to the old school and give a joint to 5 mics, if you know, this is 4.5 mics and 2 extra mic cords added. And the crazy thing is 5 mics mean it's perfect. So I'm giving you a little more room, extra mic cord or whatever, because I want to see what the one after this is going to be. But goddamn, brother, you've hit your stride and you have fully stepped into who you are as an MC and as an artist. Yo, love to Thomas Burgundy, and yeah, I guess this would be Horrible Human Beings, brought to you by the good folks at Handsome Dan's Dirtbag Deli. Just that Thomas Burgundy Lucid Kids Never Die album review. Y'all be good out there.